holding the tour for us.
If you guys want to, as you filter through, you can come out this way.
You gotta get your hands stamped from the left.
Will,
She knows.
I'm the tour guide.
Okay.
I'll see all of you guys. You'll be fine. And then we do have a lamp right out. Wow.
I get excited. I get excited.
I know, it's beautiful. And watch it. Are you on the feeding tour?
Yeah.
Watching them eat is amazing.
Does she ready to go?
I'll just follow behind you.
I'm going to go with the way up.
And Gwen,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll do this tour, but then the next one, if you want to talk about like midnight or just one of the cats you feel comfortable about.
Okay,
we'll
I'll just say I
do it
didn't
that
bring
way.
my thing. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're fine. This one you can just listen.
Okay.
Alright guys, so my name is Emily and I'm going to be your guys' tour guide. I promise this is a really fun tour with a lot of exciting cats, as long as you guys listen to 2 rules. My first rule is going to concern our fences. So while we're out on the tour, I don't want to see anyone grabbing onto the fences, reaching through them, leaning against them, kicking them, or climbing them. So basically, paws off is my policy. And then my second rule is we are going to stay together as a big group. There's a couple more of you guys than me, so just keep track of me instead of me keeping track of you. It'll go a lot smoother that way. And then I do have Gwen. She's kind of flirting there in the back. So if you guys need to return to the gift shop for any reason, you're welcome to bother me or Gwen, and we'll make sure that you get back in one piece and don't get snatched along the way. Just kidding. But we are going to start here with Miss Midnight. I'm going to walk down a little bit, get into this little perimeter fence, then we'll talk about her, and then I have a fun little chicken snack for her. So you guys are welcome to wait right here, and I will be right back.
Come on up, you won't be able to see her. She's like right there. Look, she's coming. She knows. Yeah. She's like, I know this. Can you see her?
All right, so this is Midnight. Midnight is what we call a melanistic leopard. So melanistic is a term for that darker pigmentation of her fur. She does actually have the normal rosette or spot pattern that we would see on a leopard. Hers is just really hard to see when the cat walks away from us. It's also harder to see on cloudy days. Sometimes the sunshine, you can see them a lot better. And we can kind of shift and follow her. I'm sorry, she's not good at sitting in one spot.
How old is
So she is 16 years old.
she? 16.
So she actually started off her life as an exotic pet in the pet trade. So she was welcomed into a domestic home with a family. At first it was just a husband and wife duo, everything was going great. Eventually they decided that they wanted to expand their family and they brought a small child into the mix. That is when things got complicated. Midnight's natural instinct is to stalk and hunt small things and roll slowly. Right at that. So mom decided in the best interest of the home to get rid of the cat. So Midnight spent 4 years there and then has been with our facility for 12 years. So, like I said, 16-year-old cat. Normal life expectancy for most of our big cats out in the wild is around 12 to 15 years. However, we have to see them into their lower 20s as long as they're happy and healthy. Miss Midnight is a very happy cat. She will occasionally give a couple growls, but she's a very happy cat. She's also fairly healthy, except for one concern. Since she was a house cat, she was actually declawed on all 4. So I don't know if you guys all know what declawing does. It is actually a procedure that takes up to their first knuckle off. So instead of walking flat like they're supposed to, our cats are actually going to rotate on their joints a little bit. That way these joints aren't hitting the ground causing stress. That little wrist movement is very unnatural though, and it can actually lead to further arthritis and joint pain problems as they age. Midnight, thankfully she's still a spunky girl. She has been moving around great this morning. She also gets the zoomies like your little house cat. But knowing that she's older, we have her on glucosamine, a little joint pain supplement to kind of help aid in that, and that's working really well for her. So overall, really happy cat and very healthy, but we just have to watch out for that. But that's kind of my story about Min. Do you guys have any questions?
When they're a house cat, Do they pull the teeth out too? Do they take the teeth?
Some people will. They left her teeth alone. So she does still have all of her little teeth. Another common practice is to grind them down, so they're not sharp, but they're kind of more like molars.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that will prevent them from eating all of the bones that they get in their diet. So they did not do that either to Midnight. She was very lucky in that sense. But some people will decide to do those procedures. All right, I think Midnight wants her snack. First, I am going to show it to you guys, though. So she is going to get a cute little chicken wing, just like we would eat, however it's raw. Uncooked, unspiced, unseasoned, just the way Midnight likes it. It does have a bone in it, so I'm going to let Midnight show you guys what a leopard does with a bone. And I'm going to come on this side so everyone can see a little bit better. Gone. So she did eat it, bone and all. When we think about our big cats out in the wild, when they take down their food, they want to eat all of it. They worked really hard for it. But those bones are going to give them a lot of really good nutrients, minerals, vitamins. It strengthens their jaw, or keeps their jaws strong, and cleans their teeth a little bit for them. So just a little chicken snack for her. Her main diet would consist of chicken, beef, pork, and turkey in a larger variety. But that's just something kind of fun for you guys to witness with me. So any questions about the snack giving? All right, cool. If you guys want to follow me this way, we're going to move to our first tiger. That they're supposed to be. We are no contact. We never go in with anybody, and we never pet through the fence or anything like
You don't
that.
pet them or anything like that?
Nope. No, I actually enjoy having 10 fingers. So they're kind of like your little house cats. Sometimes you're petting them, you're loving on them.
Yeah.
You might be best friends, but if they're sick and tired of that, they're gonna bite or scratch immediately.
Yeah.
That from these guys, little different, so we just choose not to. And I do have a quick warning before we go through this fence. Our big cats will spray to mark their territory. Sometimes they look at you guys and go, hey, that's some nice territory. So if one of our cats turn their butt towards the fence and their tail goes straight up in the air, I want you guys to go left or right as fast as possible. I do have a really good eye for it. I'm gonna try to watch out for you guys, but I do want you to remember that it's left or right. If you go straight back, their range is 7 to 10 feet, and I promise you guys are not fast enough because no one has been fast enough. So left or right. But we'll go ahead and meet Harry. And then if you guys want to kind of go over to that large tree, Harry will eventually follow us.
Oh, wow.
All right, so this is Harry. Harry is a Siberian tiger, which does mean he's the largest of our subspecies of tigers, the biggest natural cat that we'd find out in the wild. Harry is currently 11 years old, weighing really close to 600 pounds. But Siberian tigers are built for Siberia, up in Russia, where it's a lot colder climate than what we experience here. So Harry has an extra layer of fat and a lot of extra fluffy fur to make sure he's warm. So days like today, he's like, you guys look silly in your little coats. I will let you guys know that the little sound he is making at you guys is actually a very happy noise. That is what we call a chuck in the tiger world, and it is the equivalent of your house cat's purr. So he's saying he's very excited to see you guys. However, he is actually our most food aggressive cat, so I'm going to want to give him his snack quick. I'm going to have to walk away, and then I'll come back over here. I will end up feeding him right in this area. Okay. So if you guys want to kind of shift over here, and then I'll be, actually, let me give a little warning first. So Harry's snack is probably going to be the coolest one you guys see. He's actually going to stand up on his back 2 feet. He's really tall, so I welcome you to take pictures and videos, but I do recommend vertical, not horizontal, or you're going to miss the cat. He will growl at me. He's food aggressive, so he's just going to give me a little growl. Please don't scream back at him. And then it does happen very fast, so if you have a slow trigger finger, I maybe recommend a video. But we'll go ahead and do it.
I see this and movies pace back and forth.
They're huge.
How big and massive this
Yeah. Unbelievable. Siberian tiger.
And he's also going to get a
Full-blooded.
drumstick because he's a little bigger.
That is beautiful.
So they will get their main meal once a day. Our big cats are actually binge eaters. So when he takes down his prey out in the wild, he could eat 60 to 75 pounds all at once. Then he's not going to catch prey for a couple days, maybe even a week. So they're not built for 3 meals a day like us. So 1 meal a day for 5 days out of the week. We do naturally fast them for 2 days to give their bodies that break, let their digestive systems catch up. And then of course chicken snacks. I think he's eating snacks, but good eye. And then chicken snacks is whenever we get a feeding tour. You guys are actually the first feeding tour of the day, so that was Harry's first snack today.
I don't want to stand that close.
I think he's munching on some grass there. I think some chicken juice is filled in it.
Usually, how many chicken they eat?
So he actually eats around 12 pounds in one sitting.
Okay.
So yeah, he is one of our bigger diets for sure.
Uh-huh.
And I do want to talk about Harry's background story. So his is a very educational one. He actually came from what we call the cub petting or the pay-to-play industry. Those are industries where we show up to a little joint and we can actually go in with the tiger cubs. We can pet them, we can play with them, take cute pictures. That does opportunity for us to inform you guys that it's and pass around all day long to a bunch of strangers who aren't necessarily washing their hands. So any germs, sickness, or disease that you bring into there, the cats are very susceptible to it. At 3.5 months of age is when our tigers build in their teeth. They learn how to use their claws. That's when they have to retire out of cub petting because they can be bad for business. They'll start hurting customers. So they will either send them to another facility, make a profit off of them. They can raise them up for breeding cats, make a profit off their offspring. Another option that some people will do is actually euthanize those tigers so they can sell their body parts, their fur, their blood, and their bones. Therefore, the cub petting industry does have a 90% mortality rate. But I'm not going to end this on a sad note because at the end of 2022, we had the Big Cat Public Safety Act that was passed. That made all direct contact with exotic cats for profit illegal in the United States. Very good. Another thing that law did was make private ownership of exotic cats illegal. Therefore, we shall no longer see any more midnights running around in houses or apartments. Very thankful for that as well. So a great turn of events for our cats. But Harry himself was part of the lucky 10% back in his day. He was sold to another facility. Eventually, they just decided they didn't want Harry anymore, so they donated him to the sanctuary so we could take care of him for the rest of his life. And that was around 1 year of age. So he has had 10 good years of eating lots of chicken, occasionally trying to spray tour guests, not you guys though, woo-hoo, and just sleeping. So I think he's pretty relaxed right now, so I think you guys are all safe.
How much room does he have to roam at?
So it's hard to see his fence, but it kind of goes down a little bit of the hill, and that's where the fence stops. So all of our cats' habitats are built for them and their needs. He is a bigger tiger, so he has one of our larger areas. Some of our other cats, you might look at them and be like, wow, this is really small. There is a very good chance that that cat came from a small facility. If you give a cat that's used to being locked into small quarters a great big yard, they're going to get stressed out. They don't know what to do with themselves. So we try to accommodate to what they're used to, but also their personality. So he's a cat that loves to walk around. He is used to a big space, so that's what he is. So.
What does he do when a bird gets too close?
Well, that depends. If he just ate his meal, he's going to look at that bird and be like, you're lucky I'm full. If it's one of his fasting days, that bird will disappear very quickly. So it kind of depends. But yeah, you can't stop them from eating birds. That's their wild nature. So yeah, good question. I think he's sick of me. He's kind of glaring at me. So I'm going to go ahead and move us forward to a white Bengal tiger if you guys want to follow me this way. And I promise we'll get to the cats on the other side eventually. But our next cat will try to play hide and seek with you guys if you're able to spot him.
You don't look too happy.
No, we don't.
He was like, okay.
So this is Darar. Darar is a white Bengal tiger. The Bengal subspecies is more from India and China, so they're about a 500-pound cat, just a little bit smaller. He doesn't have that extra fat and fluff that Mr. Harry did. White Bengals, however, are due to a recessive gene. That white fur color happens about 1 in 10,000 tigers naturally. When it does happen out in the wild, they have trouble camouflaging because a tiger's #1 prey are deer. Deer happen to be red-green colorblind. So if you're hairy in a green landscape, that deer's gonna walk right past him lunchtime. This guy, they're gonna see him for a long ways away. They don't want to be tiger food, so they're not gonna get close. Therefore, the tiger has to work harder for his meals. It is less sustainable. Therefore, we have not seen white Bengals in the wild since the 1950s. They are, however, extremely popular in captivity because they're more aesthetically pleasing. Those beautiful blue eyes, those brown stripes, the noises they make, and the white fur color. So we do see them a lot more in circuses and magic shows, so those kind of performance industries. Back in 2017, we actually had 16 white Bengals that were donated from a breeding and that was him spraying. From a breeding and leasing facility that leased out to the circus on the side. Yes, he's like, that's where it was. However, Darar got a new opportunity with us. He did come along with a brother. The thing about tigers is they're usually solitary. They do not usually like their family members, and it's very hard for them to make friends. Therefore, Darar wanted to be separate from his brother. He wanted his own habitat, so we gave it to him. He has his bedroom, his yard behind him. Next door is his brother's yard.
Oh.
Yeah, he's watching us. He knows he's next. So they're able to talk to each other through that fence, but never have physical contact with one another, just because they have sharp teeth and sharp claws. And I'm sure some of you guys know how brother fights can be. Darar, we're almost there. Darar. He said he actually wants to go outside to be closer to his brother, so if you guys want to follow over here. We were getting there. And then once everyone gets closer, we will give him his snack, because that's where I was at before he walked away from us. Do you have any more to say to them?
Hi.
Darar.
Hi.
Do they recognize their name?
Yes, because I'm holding a bucket of chicken. Just like your little house cats, they're absolutely going to recognize you when you have something to benefit them. If you're waking them up in the middle of the nap, in the middle of their nap, they have no idea what you're saying. You don't exist to them. So, but we'll go ahead and do his snack. That's one of our lions. He's very jealous. We will get to him eventually. Bashir. We'll talk about him a little bit.
Goodbye.
Okay, he usually tries to stand as close behind me as possible because he gets a little excited for his snacks. This is Bashir. I'm going to give him his snacks so that he will maybe, hopefully, lay down. Maybe. Right here. Alright, hopefully he'll go lay down somewhere. But Bashir and Darar were litter mates, so they're the same age. They're both 11 years old. He's gossiping about you guys. He's like, did you see these people? They're pretty cool. Dakar's like, yeah, I really liked them. But anyways, so they look really similar, except all tigers do have a unique striping pattern, just like our thumbprints, so they do look different in that sense. They also have different personalities. Darar is usually our more verbal to guess. Bashir is not talking to you guys, he's talking to his brother. Darar usually models for people. He's more likely to sit there, watch at you guys, stick those blue eyes into your blue eyes. You fall in love with him. Bashir could care less. He's going to go to sleep now because he already got a snack and he's done. But I do have a cool story with him about toys. We like to use a lot of toys to keep our cats' day-to-day lives very interesting and some mental stimulation for them. Cardboard boxes are very popular. Cats of all sizes love cardboard. These guys, they rip it into tiny little shreds. That's so fun, but that does mean cardboard doesn't last very long. So we use a lot of hard plastic as well. Balls, barrels, you're gonna see a lot as we drive or walk around. We also use bowling balls. Bowling balls are pretty hefty. He pushes it, it goes flying. That's great. If you give Bashir a bowling ball, he will put it into his mouth, he will bite down, and he will split that bowling ball in half. The tiger's bite force is a little over 1,000 psi, so that means all of our tigers are capable of it. Bashir is the only one brave enough to figure that out. As he yawns, look at those teeth. Those are pretty big. Very sharp 2-inch canines versus a bowling ball every single day will eventually end up in a chipped or broken tooth. We do not like those around here, so we actually had to revoke his bowling privileges. Sad day for him. However, we had to find something new for him to play with, right? So we actually had a very gracious donation. I'm not sure most of you can see where you are, but at the bottom of the hill there's a very large blue ball. That ball weighs 100 pounds and it's pure plastic all the way through. The catch is it's not designed for tigers or lions or any of our other big cats. Do you guys want to take some guesses as to what kind of animal that could be for?
Elephant.
Yeah, you guys got it! It's an elephant ball. So Bashir decided he is as strong as an elephant, and he is. He'll go down to the bottom of the hill, put his front paws on it, and do a cute little bunny hop moving it around his habitat. Sometimes he'll even lay his paws across and take a little nap on it. It's adorable. But that is the only toy he's allowed to have besides cardboard. But that's my strong story of the two white Bengal brothers and our strong tough boy on property. Do you guys have any questions about either of them?
What are these tubs?
So those are their swimming pools. Tigers actually love to swim. They'll swim about 5 to 8 miles a day out in the wild. So here, it's not necessarily transportation. They are a little small, but it's a great way for them to cool off. In the summer when it's 100 degrees, our tigers are swimming and splashing around in their pools. So, good question. All right, cool. Well, I think we'll move on to an animal that doesn't like water, and we're gonna meet some lions if you guys want to follow me.
Their drinks are up here by their house.
These guys are out in their yard, so we'll kind of wrap around this little corner.
What are they? Oh, we're gonna come back, right?
Yeah, we'll walk back
Oh, okay,
around.
okay.
So, the concrete
I don't want to miss anything.
No, you're fine. If you have any questions for me, I can fill you in too.
Okay, thank you.
It's just a really great place for bad weather. Thunderstorms, our cats are going to be in the concrete bedroom, so they feel safer in there. So all of our cats have a concrete bedroom or barn access just for that aspect of safety and shelter. here we have 2 lions. So on top of her throne posing for you guys is Metula. And then her boyfriend over there in the yard is Judah.
Judah.
Lions are our only big cat that do live with their family members their entire lives out in the wild, so we try to replicate that as much as possible. A pride out in the wild would have one main man. He's alpha. He's in charge of the group. The rest of the group is mostly going to be females. There will be younger boys that'll hang around for a little while, but eventually they get old enough and they don't want to be a beta lion. They want to be that alpha, so they'll disperse and go live somewhere else with their own family that they're in charge of. Judah and Matilda did come with 3 other lions. We had another male and 2 more females. They came from a breeding and leasing type facility that just had too many lions, so they sent us some. Judah and the other male did not get along. They both wanted to be the alpha. That wasn't going to work, so we did some separating. With these 2, I like to kind of introduce the roles of lions out in the wild. So starting with our female, what's her role?
Mother. Hunter.
Mother hunting? Yeah!
Mother hunting.
So they're going to have the little kiddos. They're going to go out. They're going to go hunting. When they're hunting, the boys are going to watch over the kiddos. When the girls bring back the food, your males will eat first. He scarfs down his share so that then while the girls and the kids are eating theirs, they're safe and they're protected because they have Judah with a full belly watching out over them. So that does leave the boys' role to be protection for the group. That is why they have big poofy manes. If 2 lions get into a fight, they're going to go after the neck. That's where all your soft spots are. So that extra hair in their mane protects that, and it's harder to injure a male lion. But a cool thing about their mane is it's actually a direct correlation of their testosterone production. Therefore, if you are the alpha male, you are likely to have a darker, longer, fuller, and fluffier mane because you usually produce more testosterone. If we take a peek at Judah's mane, it's really cool. I think we can all agree on that. However, I will inform you, it's not the coolest on property. Therefore, Judah is a beta lion. It's pretty short, pretty light on his beard, and it doesn't go too far past his shoulders. He's going to complain about that. Actually, he's going to use the bathroom. But we will meet the alpha in a little bit. We're going to do a main comparison there. Now that Judah has gone to the bathroom, I'm going to give him his snack. So, Judah is known as a hungry hippo. You go right here. Can everyone kind of see him? Gonna open his mouth as wide as he possibly can without the chicken even going in it. One crunch and it's gone. Hungry hippo. Matilda. Matilda, come on. Matilda! Choo-choo! Matilda! Chicken! Hurry! She says no. So, it is common for some of our cats to turn down their chicken snacks. That's a sign to me that they're very well fed. Usually both of these guys turn them down, but Judah just really wanted to show off for you guys. But it doesn't look like she's moving too far too fast, so I will skip her. I do have lionesses later that will never turn down a chicken snack, so I promise we'll see lionesses eat. Oh, okay, come on. Hop to it, girlfriend. Come on. She is really gentle. Does she with her mouth open though? She's still a lioness. Be scared. But that's our Miss Matula. So any questions about either of these 2? Perfect. I have a really cool cat next door then if you guys want to follow this way. They do have a healthy respect that they only get one snack per tour. But every now and then they're like, hey, I know I'm your favorite, so you might as well throw one.
Yeah, she's inside there. It's to protect the cage. It might be just down there.
Alright, so this next cat right here, his more like. The rest of the name will come from mom. So a tiger, his dad was a tiger, but his mom was a liger. Already half lion, half tiger hybrid. So what we ended up with is a cat that is roughly 75% tiger. Orange color, striping pattern, I think we can all agree on that. However, there is 25% of lion. Tai-tai! Tai-tai! From this angle, you can see his neck is a little fluffier, maybe a little lion's mane. When he fully turns his head, you're going to see spots. Oh, there we go. Tai-tai! Tai-tai! Okay, we have to yawn first, I'm boring. But I think you guys can kind of see those spots. That is a lion characteristic from cubs. All of our lions are born completely spotted. That does help them camouflage in the tall grasses while moms are away hunting and dad's protecting them. Usually at a mature age, around 4 to 5, our lions will have lost their spots. Because they're full grown, they can protect themselves now. Ty over here celebrated his 8th birthday last month with all of his spots. So, a really cool hybrid characterization. Also, I will explain the funny face that he's making. So that's what we call properly a phlegm response or improperly a stink face. So our cats actually have an extra organ on the roof of their mouth called a Jacobson's organ. He smelled something on his little platform there and he's like, gosh, I really want to know what this is. So he opens his mouth really weird and then he can smell 10 times better than us. He knew exactly what he was. He was like, that's pretty cool. And then he moves on with his day. So we might see other cats doing that today, but that's what that response is. Tai, can you come closer now?
Wow, beautiful.
Judah would like to finish the tour, so. They talk about it. Mr. Judah over there is one of our betas. He actually usually doesn't get answers. But I believe what he said was, guys, I just met the most amazing tour group ever. They're so cool. And Matula was like, no, guys, he's serious. They're really cool. And then Leo over there is like, yeah, I can see them from behind. I think they have pretty cool faces, too. I can't wait to meet them. And then all the other lions were starting to talk about you because they hope to meet you. So it's just different things like that. Like tours will definitely create them to talk, weather, anything like that. So just really anything in their environment.
I noticed that the tigers didn't do anything. They just laid there and I figured they'd all kind of...
No, so it's kind of like, so they're from different territories, so they speak different languages. A lion and a tiger, if they start talking, if they roar at each other, they can feel the anger, but they're not going to know, why are you angry at me? They don't really understand that. They do speak different languages. Ty here, so since he's a hybrid, he sometimes will join those. Very rare, and his roar is maybe heard for 10 feet if you're lucky. So he can't necessarily speak full lion, but he understands he can speak. I don't know if you guys heard when he's gonna try to fake spray you guys. Please don't run away or anything. Because if you do run, the lions will roar at you and it just gets chaotic. So he will not spray, I promise. If he does, I will jump in front of you. But he also is capable of tiger chuffing. So he makes those happy noises as well. So he speaks both languages. Every now and then when the lions are caroling, you might hear a tiger like kind of do like a meow. They're like, "Ah." That's them complaining. They're like, "Guys, shut up, you're annoying." But they don't understand each other. So they usually don't actually react and talk back. Kind of like me, I hear it a couple times every single day for the past 2 years. You get used to it, you tune it out sometimes. That's what they do. No, so since they are usually solitary, they don't have a full communication chain like that. They will do their chuffs and their little like moans and groans to kind of conversate, but they're not going to carry full conversations like that. Very good questions. So I kind of briefly mentioned it there. The tigers and lions don't share the same habitat, so they wouldn't meet up out in the wild. Meaning Ty over here is a very unnatural cat. He was bred specifically in captivity. Male hybrids are known to be completely sterile, and your females have a roughly 10% chance of reproduction, so it's not very common. It does have to be forced by having them live together for extended periods of time. He came from a roadside zoo where they thought they'd specialize in hybrid cats. They're really cool, will make lots of money. Unfortunately, because they're unnatural, they are more likely to have health problems. A little too expensive, and that's what happened. They had to shut down and send they donated Ty along with 2 ligers. I don't know if they're outside today, but they're off the big observation deck in the backyard that you're welcome to see them after the tour if they're outside. Not a lot is known about them because they are unnatural, but your 2 ligers, even less is known about them because there's under 10 recorded in the entire world, and he's one of those. So I don't have a lot of other information. I'm more than happy to answer questions to the best of my ability, but that's kind of the extent to my calm, but he is going to complain this whole time. With him, I like to talk about tiger hunting skills. Our tigers are ambush hunters out in the wild. So if his back feet were properly underneath of him, then he would be ambush position, he would be hunting you guys. There's a couple things that help him be so patient because tigers will actually sit in that same spot for 2 to 3 days waiting for perfect prey to just walk right past so they can pounce in their full bellies. We already talked about orange color. They do have black stripes that look like sticks and shadows, so bushes and shrubbery are a little easier to hide into. He has white spots on the back of both of his ears, which he might show you guys a little bit, but we saw them on Ty as well. Those are the eyes in the back of a tiger's head. So if he is fully focused on me and a cat approaches him from behind, from a distance they see those white spots, they think they're looking at his eyes. They don't want to start a fight with that tiger. They're going to hightail it out of the area, leave him alone. He also has a white belly. We mentioned earlier that tigers are swimmers. If Cora's walking down a little river and he's like, gosh, I'm feeling a little hungry. All he has to do is stop moving. Those little fishies are going to be swimming. They don't see an orange belly, they see a white thing. Oh, that's a cloud, let's keep going. Tiger paw, scoop, free fishies. So all of those things help them be really patient. And then of course they have sharp teeth and sharp claws. So apex predators, really great at their job. However, their success rate when hunting is only 10 to 15% of the time. Because other animals in the wilderness are going to let you know if they see a tiger hunting. From the air, in the trees, on the ground, they're going to let out some kind of call. Everyone leaves the area. He now has to wait for new prey to come to the area, or get up, move hundreds of miles away, try again, hoping not to be seen as he hides into his little bushes. So we'll go ahead and give him his snack. I feel like he complained enough for you guys. This is ambush position. That's a better tiger than this one. Cool. So that's Cora. Do you guys have any questions about him?
He's a tiger?
So he is just an orange Bengal tiger.
Okay, alright.
Yes. Cool. Well,
How old
if you guys
is he?
can get closer under the little roof over here as it starts to rain a little harder, we'll talk about Miss Niara. So Niara is the first of 3 lions that lives in here. These guys all 3 came with Judah and Methulah. The thing about Niara, chicken is the best thing to ever happen to her. She loves it so much, she gets so excited. She saw that the tiger lays down and then he gets snacks, so she can lay down too. That's why she was laying down waiting for me. Gonna do it again. Niara says thank you, usually after a snack. Didn't do it. She thought about it. Usually she claps her little paws together and will actually hold her chicken in her hand and kind of nibble on it. So she usually has more respect for her snacks. But that one didn't last long. She's going to go off to her business. Then, Itana! Itana! She didn't even notice that chicken got handed out. Usually Itana is coming running up as soon as she hears Niara chomp that bone. She's like, oh, I'm next. Because the 2 ladies are best friends. If one gets chicken, the other one deserves it as well. These 2 girls were able to live together because we needed them to have someone to play with, to groom, to hang out with. The male with them, Leo, that big teddy bear on the ground over there, is our alpha, therefore the laziest cat on property. He does not move unless if his main diet is running around, then he'll come up, he'll get it. Chicken snacks on tour are useless. He doesn't like them. He will not move for them. So the 2 girls get to interact and hang out while he sleeps all day. Itana snacks are really simple. We let the moms raise them since we're a no-contact facility and we know about pup petting. They did a fantastic job. They were the best mothers. So now their kids are still on property. They can't live in this habitat though because this habitat was built for 3 lions. I love it. So, if you guys peek down there, you see some tan lumps in the ground. Those are some of Itana's children, our 8-year-old lions that were born on April Fool's Day. Niara's 4 children are up towards the front. We will maybe walk past them if they are outside. Itana has shown you how happy she is after her snack, and now that you guys know her story. So that is a wolf-dog hybrid, yes. So those guys are only seen on our riding tour. We don't walk any farther past just because they don't like when people are just walking past them. So they're not on our feeding tour or anything, but you sometimes see them running back and forth in the distance. Yeah, they were all donated to us. Well, any other questions while we're here before we leave the ladies and Leo to their nap time? All right, cool. You guys want to follow me further? Yes, so I'm going to show them how to
So we have to separate her just because any aggression can be taken out on her. It doesn't matter if the 2 boys are fighting. They can still take it out.
You guys want to come all the way to the fence so it's half 5. I know, excuse me. All right. This handsome man, his name is Krishna. Krishna is a very large white Bengal tiger. He did come from that same facility as Bashir and Darar. He was bred specifically to be large. It is very common for people to breed animals how we want them. Tigers, we like big cats. Another thing that we like is that white fur color. We talked about earlier how recessive it is, how hard it is to get. Therefore, the only reason we actually have white tigers in captivity is due to inbreeding. Inbreeding will guarantee that that white recessive gene will keep popping up in future generations. Therefore, our white tigers are more likely to have health problems. They are likely to display crossed eyes. They're likely to have deformities. They're likely to have internal problems like immune compromises or organ failure. Luckily, Bashir Darar, who we already met, happy, healthy boys. Mr. Krishna, the worst he has is a little joint pain because he was bred to be larger. So he actually is 50 to 75 pounds heavier than a normal white Bengal should be. That extra weight on those little joints does cause him a little bit of tenderness every now and then. So he's also on glucosamine. That works great for him. Mr. Krishna, however, is very loud. He likes to talk because he likes food. Food is his favorite thing in the world. So he usually tries to intimidate his tour guides into giving him snacks. He can't push me over, so he might look at you guys and growl a little bit. He's like, get her to give me my snack. I do like to still talk about him and everything before I give him my snack, but I do like to keep it really short and simple. One final note that I'm going to make. Krishna, I said the worst he has is a little joint pain. He did arrive with a daughter by the name of Jasmine. Jasmine actually passed away at 5 years of age due to organ failure. Even though he did not display those inbreeding problems, due to it being done in past generations, it was able to carry on to the future. Just something that we like everyone to be aware of. We do like to keep Jasmine in our memory and in our hearts, so that's just a good way for us to be able to do it while educating. But we'll turn this to a positive note for Krishna and give him his snack. thing that I want to quickly point out. Did you guys notice he used his paw to push that a little further in his mouth? Even though our big cats are wild animals and they would be eating food off of the ground out in the wild, that's not what they're used to. They're used to pans or tongs. Therefore, we do not like dirty chicken. It's gross. We have to shake all the nasty stuff off. So it's easier if we just paw it into our mouths a little bit. Very cute. But now he's going to be done with us. So any questions before we move on? Cool. We're going to pop over here then. I'm actually going to get out of the fence.
He ready to go.
Not receiving
He said,
snacks.
I'm leaving. I got my snack.
They will eventually get them again, I promise. No, they have not been bad. They've actually been really, really good. So right close to us is Tony. Tony the tiger.
Tony.
Yeah. Not the guy on your Frosted Flakes box. He is only 4 years old, so he's a little younger.
Oh, 4
And then
years old.
The lady
Yes,
up
sir.
there, up on the platform
Tony.
is Lily.
Hi.
Lily is 5 years old. These two tigers were donated to us because of that Big Cat Public Safety Act. Their parents were going through private ownership in order to own them. That wasn't okay with that law, so they had to come here and live with us. One thing about us, we're not a breeding facility. Both of these cats were capable of breeding when they arrived to us. That's not our mission, so we separated them. Lily went and got spayed. She is now unable to reproduce. So we were able to rejoin the two as a pair. They love each other. They get along really well. When we first walked out, they were cuddling with each other. So it's only been a week since they've been put together.
만나서
If I start
반가워.
sticking chicken through that fence, they might learn that they actually don't like each other too well. So they are not getting snacks right now to avoid any conflict between them. I also don't like sitting here for too long because you might notice Miss Lily's ears are back. She's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? What's going on? It's raining, there's people, Tony's in the grass, what do I do? So we're allowing her to adjust to this big habitat with Tony and all the other cats around. So if you guys want to follow me this way, yeah, so they've been at the sanctuary for 1 year. Tony's been in this habitat for about 10 months, but Lily got put in this habitat a week ago. So she is the newer resident to it, so we just want to give her her space. She's been known to get a little attitude when certain things are going on, so we just try to give her her space so that she can adjust to her environment and still have to. Did we lock them in there? No, so they are able to walk in their bedroom, in their garden at any time, unless we are actively working in their habitat. So we do eventually have to clean them after this. They don't do that by themselves. So that is the only time that our cats are
Good. What's her name?
That's Lily, and the big guy at the bottom is Tony.
Okay. How old is she?
So they are pretty young. I think they're only around probably 2 to 5.
2 to
somewhere-
5. Okay.
Somewhere in
Tony,
between.
she said Tony's 4 years old. So,
Oh, so
she's the.
Yeah, I think they're around the same age. They came together.
Okay.
They just had to be reunited. She went and got spayed, and whenever tigers spend time apart, they can forget who their friends are. And so this is their introduction period. Just getting used to each other. So that's why we don't stop for very long when we see them, just to give them their space and to let them work out their issues on their own.
Oh, okay.
Just so
they're
they can
so
discover they're
pretty.
really friends again.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. And then I don't know if you can see, but you saw how we saw Itana's children? Those are Niara's.
Oh, that's their
That's
children?
the other 4. Yeah.
보시고. Can I videotape them?
Yes?
Are we walking by her children?
No, so I kind of just pointed at them, but we don't get closer to them on the feeding tour. So since they were raised by mom, they're a little rowdy, and they can be a little rude to us, so we do not do them on feeding tours just for everyone's safety.
Okay.
Good question. Yes,
Okay.
they like to bat each other around. They like to stick their paws through the fence. Even though you're 15 feet away, they're going to try to get you. So we just protect everyone's safety and not go by them with food.
Okay.
And then before I allow you guys to go back into the backyard where you're welcome to hang around in the rain as long as you want, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming out to the sanctuary and visiting our cats today. We are 100% a non-profit, which means we don't get any government money to support us and the animals here. That is done from you guys. Every dollar you paid for your tour goes to them. every dollar that you spend in the gift shop, even if it's just a $2 water, goes back to them. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming out to visit and support them.
Thank
But I will
you.
let you guys go dry off now.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was a wonderful
That's not.
story.
That's good.
Good. I'm
Appreciate
glad.
it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I do love it.
Oops. They're kind of slick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where our lighters may or may not be out. Oh, they're out. It's either pink or Charlie. That lighter out. There's another one over here.
Oh, sorry. Kiss, kiss.
How beautiful.
That's a she or who he? That's a she?
Is it?
He?
Or he. Oh, yeah.
It has a name first.
I read it.
They got more lines than they do tigers. They got like, I think it's kind of like 15 lines.
But then again, there was two lines that they didn't put.
Yeah.
If they had 8, but there 11, 12, 13.
Well, this is a good choice, guy. Mentioned that you can take the ladies first, like Maria.
That's behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
But they do have a lot.